in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all. stars. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Podcast, the final preview game week of the season. Game week 38 is finally here. As ever, I'm with my good friends Steve and Jason. How are we tonight, chaps?
Evening, Dan. Evening, Jason. Evening, everybody.
My mic was muted.
Okay.
Good evening.
Yes, obviously it's the last. Okay, you can hear you, Jason. Don't worry. It's the last game week of the season, which has come very, very quickly. I find it's been a crazy week of European football, so plenty to reflect on there. But also looking ahead for the final game week of the season, we're going to be talking about what we're planning to do with our teams. We're going to be looking at our predictions as well for the final game week scores, game week 38. So making our predictions and talking about our team selections, and want to hear from you guys in the live chat. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us if you've got any maverick moves up your sleeve, any differentials in the bag that you're thinking of doing before Sunday. Jason, have we got many of the regulars in our live chat tonight?
Not just yet. Just waiting for them to all fill in. We've got Michael Svedin and Leslie Chow so far in the chat. So welcome, guys. Got a bit of a headache, so I'm gonna let these beautiful faces do all the talking while I sit back and relish the FPL knowledge that I'm sure to glean. It's been a long week.
So onwards to our predictions really, and Steve-O looks like he's ready to go with game week 38, and you looking forward to this final game week, Steve-O?
Yeah, I've got to say that I'm, for the first time, I think, in a very, very long time, that I feel really, really comfortable. I'm like Arsenal. I'm like Chelsea. I've got nothing to play for. I can't catch Jason in first place. It would be an absolute miracle for whoever's third in our mini league to catch me in second. So I could take, to put in perspective, I could take a 20-point hit and still end up second if I really wanted to. It ain't going to happen, but I'm calm, I'm relaxed. I can actually go with a genuine differential captain. I really, really wish I had my triple captain now, and I would have certainly used it on here because I would have felt more confident using it on this particular individual. So yeah, I'm really, really confident with this particular game week. I think there's going to be a lot of goals. We're obviously going to be doing our predictions in a minute, as people are seen to be picking up on. Certainly with the fact that I'm tweeting out a lot more, that I seem to have this sage, this crystal ball out here where I seem to be predicting pretty well at the moment. I even though it's taken slightly out of context, but I even got the Liverpool game right being 4-0. But again, I took that slightly out of context, but genuinely, I did predict it. So I seem to do pretty well. You do as well, pretty well, Dan. So, and over the past 12 or so hours, people that follow us on Twitter at Elite FPL, I've been tweeting out the particular matches and what the community think what the outcomes will be. those results have come in. I've put them down on a piece of paper. But last week, if you remember, I said that I was going to put £1 on each outcome of the games that I predicted. I didn't do it, but if I had it done, I would have won because I got 7 out of 10 outcomes correct. This week, though, I've gone and done it. Made the bets. I've done
more responsibly, guys. But yeah, nice.
Yeah. I've done £1 bet per each outcome that I've done, but also a bit of pressure on the elite FPL community based on the poll results. I've done a bet on your outcomes as well. Now, majority of them are pretty similar, I will be honest, and we'll find out what we agree on and disagree on regarding our predictions. But as ever, we'll kick it off, and it's pretty much the title decider between Brighton and Man City. Now, for me, I can see this going 3 ways. Either, the least likely, Brighton will do what they did against you, like Arsenal, put up a brick wall, and Man City struggle, and it ends either 0-0, 1-1. That's the least likely. There's about a 2% chance of that happening. The other percentage, where I think is about 25% or so, is Man City just going there and thinking, right, let's destroy these guys and winning 4 or 5-0. But I think the logical outcome is going to be something like 1 or 2-0 to Man City. And I'm going to go with 2-0 to Man City. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I like that score 4, actually. Sounds a good reasoning. I think I'll go for 2. I'll steal your scoreline already. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Man City. Brighton did quite well against them in the FA Cup semi-final. That was quite a tight game. Man City went on their best form that day. Brighton did play really well against us at the Emirates last weekend. But, Man City got so much to play for. And I think we talk about captaincy contenders and Sergio Aguero. You can just see it, written in the headlines that he'll do something to get them to win the league. So I'm going to say 2-0 to Manchester City.
Jason?
So in that case, you both think that Man City are going to win the title?
Yes.
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Well, I feel like this. I feel that this could be the way things have gone for Liverpool this season. I just don't know. It's got this horrible. Believe me, I'm the last person in the world that wants Liverpool to win the title. But Brighton have shown that they can be really stubborn, and I think it's going to be. I think it could be a bit of a shocker for City. I'm gonna probably look a little bit of a fool actually, but I think it's going to be 1-1.
Well, I mean, I said just 2 seconds ago, I felt that there's a very small chance that could happen. It's Brighton's last home game. I was watching a very popular, I'll just say it, the Fantasy Football Scouts Captaincy podcast the other day, and they were talking about Brighton, how basically they haven't been battered by teams at home. They really haven't. Just in general, they haven't been battered. So, and it will be a tight game. I agree with you being a tight game, but
I think if City win, I think they'll win by a 1-goal margin.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go like 4-5 goals.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when it comes to the community, so the tweet that I posted was basically, how many goals do you think Man City are going to score? Was it going to be 0-1, 2-3, or 4+? And the majority came out with 2 to 3 goals. So the community are also on really mine and Dan's side, so to speak, and just thinking that I think they'll do a professional job, get a couple of goals, and it'll be. But the last 5 or 6 games, they've only been scoring 1 or 2 goals, Man City. So they're just doing the job, making sure they're not losing, and the quality is just coming through. So I completely agree. Anybody in chat, if you want to play along with us predicting the scorelines, by all means do.
Well, we've got FPL Booner in chat, and he's like fully coming in, screaming about Spurs. So apparently they got through to a final. I don't know. I heard on the news something about them getting through to a final.
I did. When they got through, I did think, oh my God, FPL Buna is going to be giving it large on Friday evening when we do the podcast.
Yeah, well done to them.
Talking of finals, though, Dan, it's you, like Arsenal. You made it to the Europa League final in some style. Although I did see the highlights, and it could have been 4-4 that game.
What a week! What a week for English football, like in Europe. I mean, I watched the Tottenham game, and I was like, fair play. You know, Lucas Moura does nothing for me in the Premier League, but it's a wonder kid in the Champions League. Same can be said about Lacazette, really. Obviously, Aubameyang scoring the goals, but he did get one, Lacazette, didn't he? Yeah. I mean, I watched it. I kind of had it on in the background. I wasn't paying too much attention to it, and then obviously Spurs scored twice, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And then it was like that last kick of the game for Lucas Moura to just slot it past the keeper into the far right corner. I was like, "Wow!" Like that's especially after what we saw with Liverpool as well. That's crazy. Welcome, Mr. Bond. Welcome. Anyway, back to the Premier League. We don't want to talk about.
Well, I have to say that, Jason, that these European games are kind of bearing on the way I've gone with my predictions, because I think that for Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham, I think the finals will be playing a lot on their mind. I think, and as we go into this particular game now, Burnley versus Arsenal, I spoke to a few Arsenal fans at work today, and Dan will be talking about this a lot more into detail in a minute, but they reckon that Arsenal are going to play quite a few kids, but I don't think that matters. I mean, I can't specifically remember, but whenever we, Burnley, are playing a team where it doesn't matter if they're playing the flaming under-18s, they still, the higher quality teams still seem to beat us. And there was a game versus Arsenal, I can't specifically remember when in fact, it may have actually been the time when you guys weren't in that great form, and we could have, if we'd have beaten you, gone into the top 5 or something, overtake. I think this was it was last season, and we played you. It was either at our place or your place. I can't remember. It was a very tight game, and if we had won, we'd have been like a point behind you or something to get 5th. Is that right, Dan, or something?
Yeah, was that the one at the Emirates of Wenger's last game?
It must have been, yeah. So, and we just bottled it. And I seriously think we're going to do the same here. I think Arsenal, no matter who they play, I think it's going to be a really, really tight game. I think we'll score, and I'm going to go with Arsenal to win 2-1, Dan. Just.
Yeah, like you said, obviously it's all on the Europa League now. Aubameyang on fire last night. Fantastic performance. Lacazette looking really sharp.
Was it the third goal in the tight hand corner? He just whacked it.
I know, yeah. Britain just played really well. Those two have been brilliant.
Europa League final.
Yeah, it's exciting. Playing Chelsea in a European final. You know, it was just when Tottenham qualified for Champions League, I was like, Arsenal got to. And when Arsenal went 1-0 down within like 10 minutes, I was just like, here we go. It's going to get worse. It's the avalanche. But going on to this game because of that, I think it will be like the likes of Joe Willock, Jenkinson, El Nene, Nketiah, guys like this sort of getting a run out. So it'll be an interesting one. It could be some, Liechtensteiner might play for some of these players. It could be their last game for Arsenal. So I don't know. I'm not really feeling that confident. I think it will be a draw. I think Burnley will put quite a stir and resistance. I think some of the fringe players, will be looking to play perhaps for a move away or to get in the team next season. I just think it'll equal out, and I think it'll be 1-1.
I just think your quality will shine through because the majority of our the quality. Sean Dyche will just every last game of the season over the past few seasons has been just don't worry about it, lads. Just enjoy it. I think we've lost every single last game of the season in the Premier League. I can't remember specifically, but it's not been particularly fun the last day. I don't think we've won. But the last time I think we won on the last day of the season, where I thought, at last, was when we were promoted to the Premier League and we beat Mike Brailsford's team, Bristol City, 4-0, 4-2 or something like that. And that was the first time where I was just in joyous mood that we actually, played with some freedom. But what are you thinking, Jason, this game, Burnley versus Arsenal? Thinking of bringing in Carl Jenkinson?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of more about my bet with Dan. And how I need your team to
remind people.
We got a little bit of a running bet going on about who's going to finish above who. Man United and Arsenal.
It all started when Jason was giving it the big one in the WhatsApp group when United smashed us at the Emirates in the Cup game, and he was banging on about how United were the best thing since the Milky Bar Kid, and how they could beat any team from the universe,
I can't
how
deny
Arsenal
that.
were the worst team ever. And it really wound me up obviously as a football fan. It really got on my nerves. So I was just like, right, let's see who's finished higher.
Well, I don't think either Arsenal or Man United are going to get the Champions League. Not by default.
We can still get it.
You could still get it, but you're going to have to beat Chelsea in. Well, actually, no. You'll still get it. Because if Chelsea win, they're already qualified.
I thought that as well, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think that would be too. I think that would have already been out there in the mainstream media. That would, I thought that's it. I thought that if you win it and you've already qualified, doesn't it go to the runners-up or to the? I don't know. Someone in chat might know this. Clarification from UEFA on that, but
yeah,
let's just.
I'll send an email to whoever the. It goes to another nation, Jay. Oh, does it? Oh, right. Okay. Well.
Wow.
There you go. Right. So yeah. Burnley to win 1-0. I like Michael Svedin's prediction. I'm going to go with Michael Svedin's prediction. 1-0
Chris
Burnley.
Wood overhead.
Well, the community on Twitter said a simple question was, will Burnley win, lose or draw? And the majority came up with an Arsenal win. So they're all thinking an Arsenal win there. Now then, on to what everybody's talking about could be the highest scoring game of the game week. It's Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Crystal Palace with one of the worst home records in the division, and Bournemouth as of late doing really well away from home. A lot of talk about getting in Fraser and Wilson. Crystal Palace Bournemouth, it's a tough one for me. I think I am going to go with that away form, and I'm just going to go with it's ridiculous. I'm an iron about this. There's no bearing that. I'm going to go with Bournemouth. Yeah, 3-1. Yeah, I'll go with 3-1. No, 3-0. 3-0 to Bournemouth.
Wow. Yeah, I think.
The thing is, Dan, is that they've got a couple of their centre backs out, and they've found out that Scott Dan's not going to be available either. So they're going to have a makeshift defence this game.
Yeah, I didn't know that, to be fair. So that's quite a big factor in it. So I think Palace are going to want to sort of end the season in style at home. Nothing to play for, but they've had a decent season. Same for Bournemouth as well. Two teams that have played really entertaining counter-attacking football. Some great assets there. Fraser, Wilson, Milivojevic. Did I say it right this time, John Harris?
Milivojevic.
Thank you. So yeah, Milivojevic, he's been a great asset as well. So yeah, some great players and some good results for both teams this season. I think it'll be quite attacking and entertaining. I'm going to go 2-2 in this game.
Wow.
Well, the community is saying 2-2 as well. Sultan Saeed saying 2-2. Michael Svedin saying 2-2. Block FPL's in chat. Welcome Block saying 3-2 to Bournemouth. FPL Boone saying 3-2 to Palace. Clement LaRue saying 3-2 to Palace. I think there's goals in this game for both teams. I'm going to go with a Bournemouth win. I like the 3-2. Let's go 3-2. Goals galore.
Ironically, the community on Twitter is going with a Crystal Palace win.
Okay.
So the guys on Twitter voted that Crystal Palace, well, the majority came through as a Crystal Palace win. So on to a game which, on paper, looks like it could be a dire game, to be honest with you. But I think this will be another one with a bit of fun, a bit of, you're three lads. You're both, one's relegated. Newcastle aren't playing for anything. It's Fulham versus Newcastle. But I think Newcastle are going to win this, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Newcastle, Dan.
Yeah,
Despite
Newcastle.
Fulham's recent form.
No, that's it. I mean, Scott Parker's got the job and he's done very well since he's taken over there, seeing Fulham through to the end of the season. And Newcastle played really well against Liverpool last Saturday. It was a brilliant game to watch. But I got a feeling Fulham are going to do them, and I'm going to stick with Babel, keep him in my team for this final game week. I'm going to go 2-1 to Fulham. And then
I'm actually. There's something in my head that tells me there's a statistic that Newcastle haven't won in London for like 20 matches or something. So actually, I'm actually going to go 2-1 to Fulham. I agree with you.
2-0 to Fulham.
Well, I asked
Season off in style.
I asked the community if Fulham would actually concede this week. So would they keep a clean sheet, yes or no? And they all said no. So I'm going to put that down as a draw for the community Twitter results there. Now then, this is the one where I'm excited for this particular next game. It's Leicester versus Chelsea, and I think Chelsea will be recovering from a hangover here, and I just think that it's going to be a makeshift team. I think Leicester are going to take advantage of this. I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to go with 3-1 to Leicester, maybe 3-1 to Leicester, but I was thinking 4-0, 4-1. You know what? Yeah, let's go with that. 4-1 to Leicester. I think that they're going to end this season with a bit of parade against a Chelsea team which have just exerted themselves so much. So yeah, Dan, 4-1 to Leicester.
Yeah, obviously Chelsea got the final against us to look forward to. Went into extra time last night, had a very tough game against Eintracht Frankfurt. And I think Vardy could be essential for this game week, to be fair, with his form of recent. And Chelsea going to rest and rotate a few players. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Leicester. I'm going to go because Chelsea got some decent players in the backup and reserve that will want to make a point, maybe stake a claim for the Europa League final. But yeah, I'm seeing Leicester winning this 2-1.
Jason?
I'm going to go with a Leicester win, but I don't think Chelsea. I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester.
1-0 to Leicester, fine. Okay, well, the community went with a straightforward. They all think Leicester are going to win it. Now then, will this game actually mean anything after what we predicted for the Man City game? It's Liverpool up against Wolves. I think this is going to be tighter than what people think. I'm thinking 1-0 to Liverpool, 2-1 Liverpool, something like that. I can't see what the community predicted, which would be a Liverpool win, but really going for it. I just see this being quite tight. I think that Wolves' record versus the top six is fantastic at home. Away from home, it's still good, but yeah, I'm going to go Liverpool to win this. I'm going to go 1-0 to Liverpool, Dan.
Yeah, I think it will be a tight game. I mean, Liverpool, the game against Barcelona, just got to say, was absolutely fantastic. And Trent Alexander-Arnold with that little cheeky corner, I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was really clever. It's just an amazing game of football, and fair play to Origi for turning the season round in the last couple of games. So yeah, I think Liverpool will win. I think it will be kind of tight though, because the pressure will be on. Wolves can express themselves. They've been good on the counter attack all season. Jota, Jimenez, my main man Doherty as well, been great assets this season. I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool.
I think despite your belief that Liverpool, Steve-O, isn't going to score more than a goal or two, I feel like they could score a 3 or 4 against Wolves. I just have at Anfield, they seem to be up for it. The crowd are going to be absolutely rocking that game. Like, I think the atmosphere. I could see 4 goals in this game. I really can. And this is a game that I wish I had Salah. I think Salah's going to do something in this game. Maybe score a hat trick or something like that. That sort of worry is floating around my head. Am I going to have the cojones to captain Mane? I don't know. But I do think they will score big. I'm going to go with 4-0 Liverpool. With Wolves not being able to score. I think they're going to be under the cosh.
Wow. Well, obviously the next team, which is your team, Jason, it's United versus Cardiff. Solskjaer's already come out and said he's going to play a couple of the kids. I think this is going to be rubbish, this game. I think it's going to be like a 1-0, 2-0 to United. I can't see. It's going to be much fun to be viewing. And yeah, I'm going to go with let's go 1-0 Dan to United.
For some reason, it reminds me of the third place playoff in the World Cup when England played Belgium last year, because it's just a game where just like nobody's really that particularly invested in it. But to be fair, for United fans, obviously they get to see some of the upcoming young players, so that could be interesting for them. I think United will win it. They'll want to, sort of do their fans proud on the last game of the season, go out on a high. Cardiff put up a good fight this season, but just couldn't quite survive. I'm going to say 2-0 to United.
Will Paul Pogba play?
If he doesn't, then boy.
If he doesn't, then I'm going to have to rely on Jimenez because I brought Pogba in this week for Son. Yeah. Wow. Just call me a deluded Man United supporter. I want to have a United player attacking. I say attacking. A United attacking player in my team for the game at 38, and I feel that Cardiff. There's got to be goals for United in this game, and I don't know. I'm just holding out on Pogba. So yeah, I'm gonna go with United to win 2-0. Rashford would be more logical. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Pogba's on penalties.
Went with a United victory, but I kind of gave the options of would they win comfortably or would they just about win it, and the majority kind of was like a 50-50 split between them two. So even the guys on Twitter couldn't really call this game other than saying that Man United will win this.
Well, even the guy. Well, hang on, because against Huddersfield, Pogba looked really dangerous, like really good. He was unfortunate not to score, hit the woodwork. So I don't know. I just had this gut to just bring him in. But the guys in chat talking about FPL Booner says that Salah will be subbed off in the 59th minute, precautionary. That would be interesting. But if he's got a hat trick by then, I don't think many people care. Michael Grant saying United's going to beat Cardiff 2-0. Simon Bellamy's in chat talking about Chong playing for United, possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. Unless we want to really finish above Arsenal, we ain't got much to play for. Rashford would be more logical, says Simon. Yeah, I've always said that. Maybe at the moment. The term logical and Man United together at the moment in FPL terms just doesn't seem to be something that I would use. I wouldn't use logical, but then I brought a United player in. So yeah, that's about it. Mane 2 goals, Robbo 2 assists. I think that would be a lot. Wow, I haven't got Robbo. Change that to Trent, and I'll be happy. Southampton v Huddersfield, then, guys. What are we going to go on with this one?
Oh, I think this should be 3-0. I think, when you look at things and you're just like, yeah, the FPL gods are not on my side, and I'm going to be playing, a Southampton defender, possibly a goalkeeper, their goalkeeper, as a double up, and they're going to concede. Or if I don't play them, they're going to keep a clean sheet. Either way, I can't blinking win. So I'm going to go 3-1 to Southampton. Quite a lot of people talking about this being a game where, based on the fact that the best captaincy choice has been against Huddersfield, basically, other than last week when United played them. But that aside, I don't think Southampton are trustworthy. Maybe Shane Long at a push to maybe get a goal. But, yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 to Southampton, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, Huddersfield did well last week. Won't keep mentioning that. But so maybe that the last game of the season, they're going to think, do you know what? We've seen that Steve-O on that elite FPL, and we're going to stick it to him, and we're going to beat Southampton. I'm going to go for a shock result in this game. I'm going to go 2-1 to Huddersfield.
Christ!
Don't put any money on it. If you're watching, don't put any money. I just got a feeling that Huddersfield's going to end on a high. And I don't know. These end of season games, there's always some strange results. So could be, but I could be completely wrong.
Well, I've got two Huddersfield players in Valerie and Ward-Prowse playing in my team. Southampton. That's what I'm sorry, guys. I've got a headache. I'm not thinking straight. I've got two Southampton players in Valerie and Ward-Prowse, and I'm actually benching Jimenez, Jota, and Bennett. All three of my Wolves players for these, and I feel that Southampton surely can keep out Huddersfield and get a few goals. And who better than Ward-Prowse or maybe Redmond to have in your team? I'm going to go with a comprehensive 2-0 win for Southampton.
Yeah, the community on Twitter, they outrightly predicted a Southampton win. Well, this is possibly for me the hardest game to call. It's Tottenham versus Everton. Tottenham have got about 1,000 injuries at the moment. Everton on a real winning streak at the moment here. They seem to be beating anybody in sight. It's away at Tottenham, and I personally think that Everton will win here. And I'm going to go 2-1 to Everton, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. It's just been one of those weeks, really, like Tottenham getting into the Champions League final. Amazing game against Ajax. Ajax played really well. I don't want to sound like a bitter arsehole, but Ajax played really, really good football. But fair play to Tottenham. As much as I hate saying it, and my uncle's been going on about it all bloody week, fair play. Llorente, Lucas Moura played really well. I think, although Tottenham's focus is going to be on the final, I think that these teams will level out. I'm going to go 1-1 in this particular game.
What are we going to do when Final Fantasy finishes for the summer?
Final Fantasy! There's about 15 of those games in there. You can just start playing them again.
I think he's on about me calling Final Fantasy football.
Him in the chat which is the best Final Fantasy game.
I think he's talking to me about calling fantasy football Final Fantasy. Everton also with multiple injuries. Steve-O, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin out for Coleman, and Coleman also a doubt. Can't see them winning without players. I think Spurs will just nick a win on this. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win to Spurs. I don't think Everton's scoring. Oh, you don't? And Michael Svedin's gone the opposite way. And so Sultan Saeed, they've gone the opposite way. 1-0 to Everton, but I think 1-0 to Spurs. There you go.
Yeah, the community on Twitter, it couldn't be split between a draw or a loss. So I just put it down for betting's sake, a draw between Tottenham and Everton. So on to the final game of the season. It's Watford versus West Ham. Watford's latest run of form has been absolutely shocking. And West Ham, however, have picked up a bit, and I'm sure Dan will be wanting Antonio to be doing something. I think he will do. I think Watford are there for the taking, and I'm going to go with I'm going to go 3-1 to West Ham, Dan.
Yeah, obviously brought in Antonio as a bit of a differential off the back of his winner against Spurs and his pretty good form prior to that. Yeah, Watford, West Ham, funny teams this season. Like Watford have had some really good spells. West Ham have had some good spells, particularly back in December, January time. But two teams you can't always rely on when it comes to FPL assets at certain times of the season, apart from Kiko Firmino. But I'm going to go 2-1 to West Ham. 2 goals from Antonio. Hopefully.
2 goals, Antonio. 1-0 West Ham.
Yeah, I mean the community they went with again, quite close, but just about. West Ham to win. There we are. That's our prediction.
Yeah.
Whatever you think of what we say or do, hopefully it helps with your selections regarding fantasy football, because I say it helps me. I never go with what I say, but maybe taken on board what we say, because we seem to do quite well with our predictions. But I think that beautifully links us into what we're going to be doing this particular game week. And at the moment, on my screen right now, I've got my transfer page up, and when I heard the news today that Calvert-Lewin isn't going to be playing, I kind of was a bit happy, because it just made I can get rid of him but keep Jimenez and bring in Vardy. But it meant that I'd only have 5 million left in the blank to do a 2 free transfer. I'd only have 5 million in the bank for a midfielder. I've been looking throughout this podcast at 5 million midfielders. They're rubbish. So
get Fraser
right
in.
Now,
oh no, you only have 5 million in the bank to get it right. Okay.
So right now, I've got a -4 on screen, and I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, yeah. So anybody in chat, give me a thumbs up, a yes, a no, whatever you feel about this particular -4. But no matter what, I am going to be bringing in Vardy, no matter what. So that isn't up for debate. So my transfers right now are Son, Calvert-Lewin, and Jimenez out for Vardy, Tielemans, and Ashley Barnes. And that is the exact money to do that specific move. Because having a 5 million midfielder, there's just absolute rubbish there. There's no one to choose from. And I think those 3 there, Tielemans, Barnes and Vardy, are actually an upgrade on basically 2 injured players that aren't going to be playing, and potentially Jimenez, who may or may not continue his form versus the top 6. So, yeah, that's my -4 as it stands. I can do it because I'm 65 points clear of 3rd spot. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. What are your guys' initial thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, you're putting a lot of stake into Leicester beating Chelsea quite comprehensively. That was my first thought. I mean, Tielemans been in good form, been a really good, brilliant loan signing for Leicester. Vardy's in great form. Don't know if I'd take both, but I can see the logic in it. It's just, what sort of team Chelsea are going to play on Sunday, considering they've got the Europa League final. So, yeah. But I can see Barnes scoring against Arsenal, unfortunately. So
I think they're good moves, Steve-O. Like you said, Son's injured, Calvert-Lewin's not going to play. You're upgrading your team. You're only spending 4 points.
It's the last day of the season. I can do whatever I like. In the sense,
if you don't do it, it's like I said last podcast. If you end up bottling it, you're only going to regret it. And if it doesn't work out, just say, well, I thought they were good moves on paper.
And at the end of the day, my form as of late has just been, regarding overall rank, has just been red arrow, red arrow, red arrow.
Michael Svedin in chat's talking about Redmond. You thought about Redmond?
I can't afford him.
No.
Can't afford him. So I've already looked at the options. I literally only have £5 million to do a free transfer. And I definitely want to have Vardy.
Brooks is 5.1 or 5.2.
He's not available.
Is he out? Oh,
Yeah, he's
there
out,
you go.
yeah. And
That's what happens.
I
I haven't been up to date on the
was
plus.
thinking of him, but
Okay.
yeah, he's out.
That's a shame.
I mean, I couldn't even get in Shane Long because I've already got 3 Southampton. I couldn't even bring him in for a thing. So yeah, I'm relatively happy with that. I don't need to make that move directly yet, but with the fact that Calvin Lewin's out, I may do a price drop. But he's so lowly owned. I don't think I'll have any effect. Rather, but it's the potential of Son dropping in price because he hasn't dropped in price for 2 or 3 days now. And if I miss out on 0.1 because of that, I think I may just hit the. In fact, just do a live thing now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit the transfers now
There you go.
for a -4, and it's done.
Well, I've done
Done
my.
transfer. Done. Yeah, go for it, Jason. You told us you've done transfers. What are they?
Well, I've done one transfer. Son to Pogba. Not as glamorous as yours. I think you've got a good chance of getting something out of those transfers. Whereas I'm a little bit concerned about United. But it was a popular move, and it's kind of a boring move. Let's be honest with you, because I'm certainly not going to be captaining Pogba. And let's bring my team up in one moment. Let's have a look. So we've got Laporte in goal. Oh, sorry, Laporte in goal. Laporte, Shaw, Alexander-Arnold, and Valerie. You imagine if you could do that, switch players and go like the old Championship Manager days. You used to swap them around, and your friend didn't notice that you swapped them around. Sterling, Pogba, Mane, Ward-Prowse, Lacazette, Aguero, and then my bench is like you can see on the screen. Obviously, Leno in goal. Away at Burnley, who I thoroughly expect to concede. I'm pretty hopeful with my team. I'm looking at it. I feel that they're all favourable fixtures throughout my team. So I'm hopeful for a relatively high scoring game week 38. The 3 players on my bench just crazy. Jimenez, Jota, and Bennett for Wolves. I mean, they've served me so well throughout the season. It's crazy. I've got them all on the bench, actually, the more I look at it. Lacazette may not start. He might not start, Mr. Bond. But, I mean, I could do Vardy for Lacazette. What do you think of that, guys? You asked. Go on, Dan. No?
No, because, I mean, why risk Lacazette in a game, unless we're going to try and score 8 goals against Burnley to get 4th spot and, well, hope Tottenham lose or whatever. It's not going to happen. So I wouldn't expect them to risk Lacazette. I'm sure it's going to be.
So you don't think he's going to play?
Well, as an Arsenal fan, I hope he doesn't. Which it sounds a very strange thing saying that one of our best players not to play. But this game, as long as we,
so
bad in it.
I'm going to do a transfer. I'm going to do a transfer then.
Why would you not keep Vardy in against?
Well, no. I've got Lacazette now.
Oh, sorry.
I did the hokey cokey from Vardy to Lacazette to Vardy. Lacazette. Over like the last 5 or 6 game weeks, it's just been, and obviously I've stuck with Lacazette for like the last 2 game weeks now, and he's been absolutely pants. So, chat, what do you think I should do? Vardy in for? I think it's pretty. The more I think about it, it's pretty no-brainer, isn't it? A guaranteed starter against the rotation risk.
Yes.
In form against out of form.
Excuse me, Lacazette scored a brilliant goal last night.
I'm talking FPL, mate.
It's still football, mate. It's still good form. You're knocking him all the time.
Right, let's do the transfer.
I certainly think, Dan, that if
you'd have him over Lukaku, wouldn't you?
if the goal difference was a lot closer between you and Tottenham, say it was like 2 goals in it, I think that, and there was a very high chance of you getting that top 4 by beating us, say, 3-0 and Tottenham losing, I think you'd be playing a lot more of a stronger team. I just think that because it's literally an 8 goal difference, you ain't going to beat us 5-0 by 5 goals, or even beating us by 3 and Tottenham losing 5-0. It's virtually impossible. So
I've done it.
I would.
Vardy's in.
So Jason's just done a live transfer. Vardy in for Lacazette.
There you go.
There we go, everybody. But yeah, I think that
Vardy to get injured in training tomorrow.
I certainly think, though, that Dan, that going on what you're saying, it all makes complete logical sense. To be honest with you, I think, and going on what people say at work as well, the Arsenal fans, they're thinking that, don't worry about this game against Burnley. Just concentrate on worrying about Europa League final and winning that. It's as simple as it gets.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the most. I'm having a bit of trouble with my camera here. The most important thing, really. And in terms of my, in terms of my team, I did have a little look at a certain Liverpool striker before we started this podcast. But then I just thought to myself, don't do transfers before the podcast. Don't do knee-jerk transfers before the podcast. But the striker I'm talking about is Origi. It's priced at 5 million. 75% chance of playing.
I thought he was ruled out.
Well,
75%? Really?
I looked on the fantasy football app that I use, and they were making him as a suggestion to play based on the fact that Firmino can't play. But then I looked at the transfer and I was like, hold on a minute. Injury potential, 75% chance of playing. I was searching for news. So if anyone in chat...
He's not injured, mate. He's not injured.
Yeah. I literally searched on Google News last 24 hours, Origi, and there was just saying stuff about him getting a new contract and
it says
other things.
It says here, Origi himself said he was only suffering from cramp. So maybe...
I'm glad. He'll be fine.
Bit of cramp.
I think cramp's going to keep him out of the game. It can be really misleading. It can lead you into all sorts of worry. But yeah, Origi, I mean, he's kind of, he's in great form. Scoring against Newcastle, scoring twice against Barcelona. Firmino's not playing. As a differential, it's worth a punt. So, thinking about it, I've got Jimenez there. I've got Llorente.
Unless Sturridge comes in for some minutes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Sturridge did start the game against Newcastle last week, so that it is a bit of a rotation risk. But there's one I was considering. I was also considering somehow, if I don't do the Origi transfer, getting Mo Salah back into the team at the expense of Eden Hazard, but it's will Hazard play against Leicester? I don't really know.
We had a question on Instagram from a user called Habib. He did actually ask, do we think Hazard will start? And also talking of your team, Dan, do you think Aubameyang will start?
Don't think Aubameyang will start, no. Lacazette possibly could start, but the problem with Arsenal at the moment is we haven't got much in the backup. If Welbeck was fit, and I feel like I've been saying that for like the last 5 years, but he's obviously leaving now. If Welbeck was fit, it could be Welbeck and Nketiah playing. I don't know whether they're just playing Nketiah up top on his own, but I don't think Aubameyang will start this game because it's too much of a risk. You don't want to get Aubameyang injured before a bloody Europa League against Chelsea. So no, keep him safe.
FPL Booner in chat said that he's asked you this as well, but he's going to ask everybody about thoughts on Eriksen and Robertson to Salah and a 4.5 mil defender for a -8. Oh, Eriksen and Robertson for Salah and a 4.4. I mean, Salah's.
And then he says he would captain Salah over Mane.
If you're going to captain Salah, then go for it.
Yeah.
If you're 100% sure you're going to go with a captain and Salah, then yeah, go for it. But if you're not going to captain Salah, then it's certainly not worth it. I've got a feeling Salah's going to do something on the final game. Anfield is going to be absolutely rocking come Sunday afternoon. They're going to want to cheer the team on. There's going to be a lot of emotion. I think it's going to be electrifying atmosphere. I think Salah's going to rise up and score big. So yeah, go on, do it.
I'm just looking at what he's saying here, and to be honest with you, in effect, he's basically saying Eriksen and Robertson out for Salah. In effect, because he's not going to be playing as 4.5 million defender, and I would go for it. Yeah, I think I know for a fact that Buna is, he's basically won all his mini leagues, and it's more of a case of climbing the ranks. And yeah, I would just go for it, especially if you're gonna captain Salah Bouna, go for it. Just stick it on and hope for the best. It sounds really weird saying that about Salah, but I think as Jason said, Salah chasing he's ahead in the Golden Boot. Is that right? He is leading at the moment for the Golden Boot.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I like I said, I'm more confident now. I've seen Block FPL on here commenting about Vardy potentially getting a hat trick, and do you know what? I can certainly see him scoring a double-digit haul. Whether that means getting 2 goals or a goal and assist or whatever, but I honestly really do think that Jamie Vardy is being really overlooked here. Although ironically, you've just brought him in, Jason. So,
well, Block FPL in chat just mentions that teams that have got more at stake typically score less goals. I don't know. There seems to be a lot. I mean, yeah, I can see your point in general terms, but Liverpool do seem to be able to score, even in high-stake games, multiple goals, especially recently. You know, they've been scoring for fun, and yeah, I think I don't know. It's got this feeling that it's going to be when that crowd rises up, they can score 4 or 5 goals.
It's the opposite of the Emirates.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking watching.
Well, it's the opposite of Man City, really, isn't it? Because they've got half a crowd normally, but that's probably why they're only scoring 1 goal a game. But no, yeah, the Emirates, yeah.
Oh, but I mean, it does.
They can't shout Wenger out anymore, can they? They've got to find someone else to shout about now, haven't they?
He was there too long. He should have left 2017, but that's for another podcast. But I think the theme of this game week does seem to be just going all out for the last game week. You know, a bit less pressure unless you're trying to fight to get to the top of the mini league. In our particular mini league, for myself, it's like I'm going to get above Dell because it would just be funny to remind him that I finished above him, if I finish above him when I see him next. But it's just bragging rights, really. So you can have a little bit more fun, a bit less pressure, but I think that's a good point that he's made, though, blocking chat, about teams, things to play for, like Brighton, Man City. It could be a tight game. And then you look at games like Watford, West Ham, Palace, Bournemouth. You know, there could be goals galore in those games, and we could potentially be overlooking those players, you know, in those particular fixtures that, you know, people like Fraser, Zaha, people
Wilson,
like that might have a really specific game week, you know. So, yeah.
Just to move on from that, when you say looking over these players, what do you mean? Do you mean either from a captaincy point of view or bring them in as a transfer? I mean, I've seen here John Harris is pretty much, give or take, copying the transfers that I've done over the past couple of weeks, really. Not literally copying, but you know what I mean when I say this, which is Salah in for Hazard and Tielemans in for Son. Well, what's our thoughts? Well, my thoughts is that seems like an absolute fantastic move. You know, Hazard's away form isn't great. Tielemans and Salah, you know, are in fantastic form at the moment. Son isn't going to be playing. Do it, John. Just do it, mate. But yeah, going on what you were saying, Dan, I mean, realistically, who are you going to buy in from Watford and West Ham that you're going to feel like going to have? The only player that I can think of from West Ham that I could think, you know what, maybe is Arnautovic.
Yeah, I was about to say Arnautovic. He started to get his scoring form back, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about people chasing in the mini league that really want to take a differential punt on a captain like an Arnautovic, you know, really think, right, let's go for it. You know, let's say the rest of the people in my mini league are going to captain Salah or whatever. My nearest rivals are going to captain Vardy. I'm going to punt on Arnautovic. He gets a couple of goals against Watford, you know, taking a real gamble. So we could be overlooking some of these, you know, Fraser, Wilson, Zaha, and Arnautovic. But I don't know, you'd have to be a bit brave to do that when we talk about some of the other captaincy options. But if you're chasing someone in a cash mini league similar to ours, you might want to do it.
No, definitely, and I think that, you know, going on what you're saying, like I've been talking about like last week as well. Like, this is the last game week, and you know, if you can't have fun this game week and make some bold moves, then this is literally your last chance to do something about your position, and don't be afraid, because you only regret it otherwise.
I must say it's a really good point, because you're hearing a lot of people that it's the same question over and over again, which is, how do I, excuse the pun, but block people in my mini leagues? Well, Jason doesn't need to block anybody, because he's so far ahead of me, it doesn't really matter, even though ironically he's just done a block move, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to do a block move ahead of Connor Lee, who is third, because I'm so far ahead of him. But because it's so... this is where it's interesting within our 12 Elite Mini League, like I said, is that, we're talking only 24 points separate fifth and third. And Connor Lee, Ben Towler and Terry Roos, them three, I don't know how much they look at our mini league, but the three of us are without pressure in this particular game week. So Dan, it may be even wise to even captain Origi just for a bit of fun. I know you're going to have your pride about trying to catch Dale here, I get that, but I think this is, like as Jason said, the perfect opportunity just to go for a punt like Origi, for example, as a captain. Jason is another one where Captain Mane, there's no point in umming and ahhing. There's no point in going with Aguero Sterling unless you're really that desperate to climb the overall rankings. It's completely, totally up to you. But for me, you've just seen me do it live, -4. Yeah, do you know what? It just seems right. Go with my gut feeling. But for Connor Lee, Ben Towler, and as we discussed the other day, these guys here, they've got 10 and 11 differentials on Connor Lee. It's going to be a fascinating end to the season between those three. Who ends up in the top, those final two cash places, Dan?
Yes, I mean, looking at the scores. I mean, Pete Andrews in 7th, Darren Mundy, Terry Roos, all could easily get into the top 4.
They could, but about differentials, and Pete Andrews and Darren Mundy.
But we don't know what transfers they're planning to do.
No, but they've only got 7 and 6 differentials respectively on Connor Lee as an example in third.
Right, okay.
It's not really that. It's a lot, but it's not that.
But
many.
Definitely that 4th spot.
Yeah, that 4th spot is certainly up for grabs.
Yeah, when you're talking 27 points between Pete and Ben, I mean that's doable, easily doable. If your captaincy pays off, that is,
I mean, Pete hasn't done any transfers this week. He's got 0.3 in the bank, so really he's got nothing in the bank. His team, as I look at it right now, so Lacazette is a potential rotation risk. He ain't got Firmino playing. Jimenez is up against Liverpool, where we all said our piece on them. Son, you guarantee he's going to get rid of Son. So his main 3 midfielders are Mane, Sterling and Pogba. I mean, Will Hughes of Watford. I mean, yeah, he could get a double-digit haul, but I very, very much doubt that. So he's only got 3 midfielders, really. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for him to be getting in that top 4, unfortunately. Whereas if you look at, say, someone like, I'm sure it's Connor Lee. I'm sure it is, who's got that double Bournemouth. I think it is.
All right.
He's certainly got Wilson or something. Yeah, he's got Wilson in his team. And as we mentioned, we believe that's going to be goals galore in that particular game. He's got Shane Long as well, another player who I think, looking at Connor Lee's team, I think he's pretty much nailed 3rd spot. I think, looking at his team as I speak, I think, his...
Well, we've got Tim Lee in chat.
Done out, so...
Yeah, I think that 4th spot is where Ben Towler is. I think that's the precarious spot that's open to be nabbed by either Terry, Darren or Pete. Pete, bit more of a long shot, I think, purely for like what you were saying about his players and the money in the bank. But we've got Tim Lee in chat. Welcome, Tim. And he's asked a question. Delafeu in for Son. I have Sterling, Pogba, Mane, Jota. He's maxed out on City pool. Delafeu in. I mean, we didn't think that Watford are going to do much, but I mean, this is what we've been talking about. Like, if you've got this, inner vision or something that Watford are going to do something, then bring him in. But I don't know. I'd probably go Redmond over Deulofeu. What about you, Pete? What about you, Steve-O?
Well, as I thought, Deulofeu is more of an away point scorer. So, last time he got anything at home was in game week 29 at home to Leicester, where he got an assist. But his two big double-digit scores of scoring 2 goals versus Huddersfield, which was away, and back in game week 27, where he scored 3 goals and got 1 assist in a 5-1 victory away at Cardiff, tells me that he's not a home player. In fact, going up here, I mean, his returns of late have been just single-digit figures, to be honest with you. I would avoid.
I mean, I'm thinking Redmond, if you've got that sort of cash, or if you've got a little bit more to play with, maybe Fraser. Could be a good option. In fact, I would prefer Fraser over Redmond myself. He's obviously been brilliant all season, really. Other options, thinking outside the box, you've got Milivojevic for Crystal Palace. I don't know, Babel. If you want to go with like Dan and bring in Babel. Last game of the season, he's in a bit of form. He's at home to Newcastle. I don't know. I think that Deulofeu is a bit more of a shot in the dark for me.
Although I will add that someone like myself that looks into like history or what they've done this year, peculiarly, Deulofeu seems to have, whatever he's done against them at home, he's done something away from home. And the last time he played West Ham, he scored in a 2-0 victory. So maybe the omens are there for you. But
we also look at form over fixtures. I mean, we're looking at form over fixtures. Deulofeu hasn't done anything since game week 35, in which he was away at Huddersfield. Admittedly, he didn't play against Arsenal. So you have to then cast your way back to game week 30, where he got a goal against Man City. It's been a while. Blanked obviously against Fulham, Man United, Southampton, Wolves. You'd think he'd get something in these games. I don't know.
I would take a punt on someone like Loftus-Cheek.
Another goal last night.
Yeah, Redmond is another one, like you mentioned. Maybe even like Dan said, Ryan Babel, a really good option now, I think. Or maybe if you really wanted to go for a punt, maybe Wijnaldum of Liverpool. Just to continue.
Wijnaldum.
Theory.
Yeah.
If he potentially could start. I think this is just a game week, depending on people's positions in mini leagues. I just think just go for it. Have fun.
Yeah.
I think, like Jason said, I don't want to keep repeating ourselves, but it's the last game of the season, and if you've pretty much cemented, give or take, a position within your mini league, have some fun.
Have a
go
bit of
for
fun,
it.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Loftus-Cheek is a doubt, apparently.
Yeah, how many game weeks do we get to play without so much pressure? The whole season is a lot of pressure of trying to get up the league or improve your rank or whatever. I think it's a good opportunity just to take an opportunity
There's no game week 39. There's no game week 39. This is it now. Whatever you do now, it's just for this week. And
what we haven't mentioned to anybody is captaincy thoughts, and I've already said it. Well, I haven't actually said this, but I am going to be captaining Jamie Vardy. He is going to be my captain. I think that I'm happy to have Aguero not being captain, Sterling, Salah, Mane. I've got all them covered, really. And like I said, I just think Vardy's going to have some fun versus Chelsea. He seems to enjoy playing top 6 teams. They're at home. I think, just go for it. Jason, who have you thought about captaining this week?
Well, my armband at the moment's on Aguero. But I do like the look of Mane. I'm not gonna rule out Vardy, especially now I brought him in for -4. I mean, I do subscribe to the logic. If you're going to bring a player in for hit, then why not consider at least captaining them. Yeah, to me, for my team, it's going to be Sterling, Mane, Vardy, Aguero. So I've got 4 players who I have to decide who I feel. And looking out of more, you know what? I might just go Mane.
Oh, I do find the thought process interesting.
I might just put it onto Mane right now.
I mean, the thought process of you is saying that you think that Liverpool are going to destroy.
Yeah.
Were they playing against Wolves? But you're kind of debating on whether to captain Mane, who's one of their top goals.
It is, but because of, I mean, you could say the same thing about City, of course. Mane's been great, but there's a lot of goals being scored by the likes of Wijnaldum and Salah, and God, I don't know. Let's have a look at Mane. So he doesn't seem to have been blowing us all away with his goals lately. I mean, he got 2 goals at home to Huddersfield. He got a goal at home to Chelsea. But then, if you go back, I mean, he didn't do anything until back in game week 31, he got a goal and an assist away at Fulham. So he's very much a...
He's great at home, is Mane.
Yeah, he is. He's great at home, yeah. So so going on that logic, there you go, yeah. I might as well just... You know what? Sod it. I'm doing it. I'm going Mane, captain. Boom. Done. Not changing it. That is it. Guaranteed. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's the point about just playing the game, just logically. You've just gone through the most basic stats. Oh, Mane just seems to score really, really well at home this season. He's having the best season of his career. But I'm debating on whether to captain him at home. It's there. It's written in the stars. I mean, Dan, who are you even considering captaining this week?
At the moment, I've got the captain armband on Raheem Sterling. But yeah, I mean, given our discussion, I've still got a few transfers to make. Maybe that could change. Maybe I could go Maverick, so to speak, and go captain Origi. That could be interesting. Or Mane. I mean, we've just talked through that thought process there. The fact that Mane has been really good at home this season. I've captained Mane the last 2 game weeks, actually. Well, obviously, the last game week, as we discussed, it was due to my error when I meant to captain Hazard and didn't click the save button. But lesson learned there. But yeah, Mane, Sterling.
Well, I'm looking at
Babel. I was really thinking.
I'm looking at Dale Bellamy's team. Well, I was looking at Dale's team. Just to let you know, he's made a transfer and he's clearly got rid of Son. So he's got rid of Son for whoever. I think, looking at your team, he doesn't own any Liverpool asset, and I just think if you want to catch Dale, Mane's your man. It's written in the stars. I'm looking at your team and I'm thinking, if you're thinking logically, Mane has got to be your captain this game week.
Yeah, I'm going to take another look at Dale's team and just see what he's got. But that does give me quite a bit of encouragement, to be fair. Mane, would be a good choice. But it just feels almost nice to think, well, maybe I could be a bit silly and captain like Origi or Babel or somebody.
I've got to say, your team for this particular game week, I really like, because you've got lovely differentials in Antonio, as we've already mentioned, Ryan Babel, as we've already mentioned. But this is the one that I like, and FPL Booner, if he's still there in chat and he wants to give his opinion. But Llorente, he may give his opportunity in this particular game against Everton and may actually produce some good for you. I'm liking it, Dan. I'm just kind of thinking, you know what, you may actually get Dale after all.
Yeah, I mean, Llorente played really well against Ajax when he came on. It was just a case of, look, we need to do something different, get it up to Llorente. Llorente's on Daily Blind and he's dominating the game, creating the assists and everything, looking really good, really sharp. So he could get a chance. So that could be a good differential in there. I'm not sure whether to keep Jimenez. That's the one I was thinking about before, whether to get rid of Jimenez. But as good as Jimenez's record has been this season, I do think Liverpool will win that game. So logic dictates that I should get rid of him for this game week, this final game week. So, but yeah, I think the last few game weeks, just throwing a few differentials in there. When there's less pressure, it's like, right, Babel, good form, get him in. Antonio, good form, give it a go. So, yeah, something to take forward into next season is just to throw a few differentials into the mix there. And play with a gut instinct a bit more, really. But what are people saying in chat about this final game week?
FPL Booner show, it seems. Got you will switch to Vardy, says John Harris. He's thinking I'm going to switch to Vardy. What have you done with Son? He's gone to Pogba. He's saying that obviously Llorente could play well. Alicia Amano's in chat saying, "Hey guys, 101 points last week." God, don't rub it in. Last week was awful.
That was last week. We're not interested now.
yeah. This is this week. We're looking forward. We don't look backwards. I've brought in Zaha and congratulations, by the way, Alicia. That was a good score. I've brought in Zaha and Milivojevic this week. Wish me luck. Good luck. I think both could potentially do something, but I don't think they're going to be a lot of teams with both of those players in for this game week. So if they do well, you'll be rising up the ranks. Captain of Sterling is more attractive, says Lloyd AJ. Sterling, yeah. Been a bit off the boil of late. I don't know. I still think I'm going to stick with Mane for myself. But yeah, go for it. If you think Lloyd, like we're talking about now, if you've got gut feeling that something, Sterling's going to do something. If you've got a gut feeling your player in your team is going to do something, just do it. Just captain it. I mean, don't go with the crowd. Not on game week. It's too late now. It's too late to go with the crowd. If you were going to go with the crowd, you should have gone with the crowd game week 1, 2, and 3, and then you would have, Oh, I've got a phone call. I'm not going to answer it though. Anyway, without losing my track of thought, it's too late to go with the crowd. Just go with your gut. Do it. You won't be disappointed.
Probably Sadio Mane telling you to captain him.
Let's see the UEFA chairman.
You know what? I wanted to make this point before, but I'd just be fascinated inside like the Premier League dressing rooms when they're they almost play fantasy football, I'd imagine. And do you reckon some of the players are just sat there thinking, should I captain myself or should I captain my teammate or something?
There was that, I say famous, you clearly don't know it, and if anybody's in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, but what's his name? I've forgotten it. Ben Foster, he triple captained Lacazette when Ben Foster slipped and Lacazette went through and scored. So, and that was on the official fantasy site. They actually brought up a video interviewing Ben Foster about that. Or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, these people, and there was something about, wasn't it Lewis Dunk captains someone or something? I can't remember now. And it was like, you can see the goal. I can't remember now, but yeah, these things happen, Dan.
Yeah, I do remember. I do remember Pascal Gross talking on an interview last season on Football Focus, and she was asking him about fantasy football. And she said to him, "Look, do you play yourself in your team every week?" And he just went, "Well, it depends what my form is and depends what the fixtures is." And I was like, "Oh, spoken like a true FPL manager."
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it, when you hear that? Like, it's like, I don't know. I'm not suggesting, of course, that they would play bad or throw a result or anything like that, but it's a bit weird. Like,
I mean, this is a talking point for a different day, but it is one of those, though, where the more popular this game becomes, and I genuinely can see this in the future being almost streaming live on TV. Sorry, lost track with this on it. That maybe players could be banned from playing this game, like they are with betting. They're not allowed to bet on football.
No,
they may not be allowed to play this fantasy game. As ridiculous as that sounds.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It is a weird one. Ben Foster famously watched a Friday night game, not remembering it was an FPL game, and then posted on Saturday night stating his FPL season was over as he forgot the deadline. Apparently that was a joke, he said. FPL pitch, pitch in chat saying it was apparently a joke about Aubameyang.
Right, okay.
John Harris is off. Bye, John. Take care. I think we've probably.
I think we're off now. Yeah.
I think we're about ready to close. I've got to go in the gym. I need to speak to the person that rang as well. So yes, Sunday afternoon, for those of you guys who are still with us, I will be going live at some point, probably as the game starts. As the games start at 3:00, or maybe just before, I'll post up on social media, and I'll also schedule a stream as well to remind everybody who wants to join. Now the plan is it's going to be interesting because all teams are playing, so I'm hoping for a fast-firing goal fest, and then hopefully Steve-O can join us then in for the second half, and then Dan as well.
No, there's no hopefully about it, Jason. I will be joining.
All right, and Steve-O will be joining us for the second half, and Dan also hopefully will be too. And Dan, if you want to go ahead and do the honours and sign us out, and thank you everybody.
Yes, so thank you for watching our final game week preview podcast of the season. If you're watching us on the replay, please give us some feedback. And if you've enjoyed what you've watched tonight, please do subscribe as well. Also, feel free to connect with us on Instagram and Twitter at Elite FPL. But do appreciate your support throughout the season and look forward to seeing you on Sunday afternoon for our live podcast. And good luck with your final picks and enjoy the football this weekend. And see you all on Sunday afternoon.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Hold on, 2 seconds. Unlike most FPL channels who have been telling you that they don't know what they're going to be doing over the summer and they don't know what they're going to be doing when the football's finishing. Well, I can tell you what I'll be doing when the thing's ending. So the three of us are kind of going to be planning on. So if you stay with us this long, this is kind of exclusive news really for you guys. So the three of us are kind of planning on still continuing doing, not necessarily weekly pods, we're not sure, but 2 weekly interviews with people from our community. I've already spoken with, for example, FPL Boona privately, and he has agreed that he'd like to do a show. It's a bit like what we've done with Block FPL, with Davey FPL, with Jack Gleason, but we want to kind of reward the community that we're building here by just doing interviews, getting to know them, or getting to know you and your FPL history, what you enjoy about playing, how your season's gone this year. And so throughout the summer, we're not going to be quiet. We're going to be doing various podcasts, interacting with you guys really live. And
I've got a little. Actually, you reminded me. I've got a bit of an announcement to make because I've got a big idea. I've got a big idea for the podcast, especially going into next season. I've created a Discord for Elite FPL. And I will be sharing the link to our Discord. I'll explain it to you after the stream, Steve-O. I'll give you guys all the link to our Discord. It'd be great if you can join it. And the idea being that we will hold discussions and debates with members of the community, whether it be once or twice for a monthly basis. I don't know. We'll work something out, but I've got an idea of having callers from the community joining us on the stream for a few minutes at a time, giving their view of a game week. So just gives that a bit more interaction in chat. So, for example, Boona, if he's had a great game week, we could have him on the line in Discord, or John Harris, having him on the line, sort of thing. So that's going to be something which I'm going to be interested in setting up. But I'll put the link in chat. Thank you everybody so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you guys again Sunday afternoon, 3:00 for the games. I'll be live probably 10 minutes before. Good night.
Cheers guys, thank you.
Yes. Hello there, welcome to our Elite FPL.
Pun where Shaw's lights were knocked out. Dan, you may want to turn on your light because you're.
Chat said that Steve-O, if you bench Alonso when he returns, that you have to get a history tattoo.
Well, people in chat saying, Jack, before we move on to the Elite FPL.
First of all, my name isn't Jack. Right, okay, I'm gonna let Dan speak because it seems to be mainly me and. Go, Dan. Go ahead. What are you gonna do?
It's absolutely fascinating.
Jason, try and just stop.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm.